Honestly, a little bit of a questionable parking spot, but I realized I'm a little bit overdue on a van tour. I got this van in early 2022. It's now the end of 2024. It's about time to do a proper van tour. I think now is a good place and time to do that. This is a 2012 Mercedes Sprinter. I bought it from a friend who was kind of on the other end of van life. He lived in it for a while, he built it out, and then I bought it, lived in his build out for a while, and then tore it down to the walls and rebuilt it all myself. I spent a lot of time working on the design. I 3D modeled everything, and over the last couple years I've sort of made continual upgrades. I think it's at a spot now where I'm pretty happy. There's obviously always things to continue to work on. Getting started here, my countertop. This is a butcher block countertop. Obviously you can use it as a sink here, or you can spin it around and you have a little bit of a shower, which is kind of nice. And then on the other end here, I have my cutting board. As we move down to the drawers here, this top one is my silverware drawer and spice drawer. This is my refrigerator. Not very big, but we can hold some stuff in there. I go to the grocery store relatively often, so it works well enough for me. And then down another one, we have my pantry. This is mostly, dry food, snacks, etc. And on the left, can pop this one open. These are all my dishes, extra cups. Up one drawer, we have my cleaning supplies, mostly soap, towels, paper towels. These drawers are pretty cool. You push them in and they lock. They're pretty solid locked in there. And then you can push it and it pops it out. These two over here, I do have two pins that go in when I'm driving. But for the most part, push it, open it, and there we go. One thing you might notice is there is no stove right here. So I have a little bit of a hidden one. I have this flip-up table right here. And then on this side, I have my stove. I can pull this out. This was my first custom drawer that I made. My pots and pans right there. A little bit of a coffee shop down here. And then the stove lives right up here. So I can pop that up and then pop this down. I can turn it on, and there we go. We have pretty much my full kitchen right here. On the underside of the pot, pan, and stove storage, I have this kind of appliance drawer. I have my blender, my rice maker. I use that a ton. Some extra storage for measuring cups and Tupperware, etc. But I use this quite a bit. Super convenient down here, being able to store stuff. I also have my trash right behind the seat, which is really convenient. I feel like often living in the van, before I rebuilt it, it was like, I'm just going to go out to eat. And I was spending, I think, more than I was originally with rent by just going out to eat. What I ended up doing is rebuilding the van largely with this in mind of making a good cooking area. And I cook a lot more now, which is great. In a small space like this, everything is pretty integrated together. So we're going to move from the kitchen over to the living room. I'm not exactly a master in upholstery. I've used a few different options for the cushioning for this couch, but right now I'm using these cushions for chairs mostly. I got them off of Amazon. And honestly, as far as comfort wise, they're pretty good. They're all Velcroed down, so it's pretty solid. This is what the couch looks when it's uncovered. I like to use that blanket to cover the bottom part because I can throw that in the wash. These are a lot harder to clean, and it kind of creates a little bit more of a solid look, I think. But under here I have some storage. On this side it is extra laundry, some paperwork and stuff. And then on this side is more cleaning supplies, extra coolant and oil. And then over here I have a little bit of a toilet. It's a cassette toilet. I don't use it super often, but in emergencies, it's pretty nice to be able to have. Putting this couch back together, I did want to take a step back and talk about the van as a whole. When building this van, my goal was to sort of make this more of an apartment, less of a van, if that makes sense. I thought the nicer I make it, the longer I will live in it. I love moving around. I love being able to be in Colorado, be in Sedona now, go down to California, park it and travel the rest of the world and not pay rent. So the nicer I made the van, the more homey I made the van, the longer I was thinking I would stay in it. And it's been a couple years now and I'm still loving it. So it's worked out pretty well so far. but that transitions well into, let's say, creature comforts. I have this projector. If we get over on this side, you can see I have this projector screen that comes down. I don't actually really watch TV or honestly use this almost at all, but it's kind of nice. Can hang out, watch things every once in a while. My world map with all the pins of the places I've been to so far. I also have some art on the walls that makes it so ideally it feels a little bit less like a van, again a little bit more like an apartment. I really like this. It makes it feel a lot more homey. I love the Matterhorn right in the center. Having a workspace is pretty important to me, so I did build this almost 2 foot by 4 foot desk that comes out. Especially in a small van like this, having a big desk is really awesome. I do a lot of work on here, whether that's art or computer work, especially once you flip this up. You can see I pretty much have everything that can be turned into a surface, maximizing countertop space. You can see on this side I have my 12 volt plugs. I have a phone charger, USB-C with a couple extra USB options. So that helps me plug in whatever I need to plug in here. The switch on the left here is actually to turn on the pump for the sink. Slide this back. Being able to slide the desk fully back in to me is a really nice thing. It sort of hides away, and when I need it, it's there. When I don't need it, it's not there. Also under the couch, I have the vent to my diesel heater. This goes from the back of the van, so I can turn it on, and then it heats up the whole space from right there. Shifting gears again, we're gonna go over to, let's say, my closet area. This is my closet. It works as a pretty good divider from the driving area to the living space. It's right on top of the whole kitchen drawers on this side, but I have all of my clothes hanging here. You can see, honestly, good size closet here. I have some storage for some extra books and stuff that I'll throw in here sometimes. I also have a sneaky Starlink back here, which is pretty nice. But yeah, this magnetizes closed. Magnetizes, I don't know if that's a word, but that's a magnet, so that'll stay closed. And we can shift our way up to here. This is my storage right above the driving area. This is where everything that's not a shirt is pretty much stored. So I have socks and pants and underwear and everything up here. I have a couple books, and then this is my toiletries and just storage. This is like my stuff I grab. My keys are usually here, contacts, AirPods, etc. On the bottom side of the storage up here, I do have a guitar hung right above the driving area, which works out super well. It gets out of the way. Has a little bit of style points for sure. Another huge thing is these hooks. These hooks I use all the time. I cycle through 2 towels. So I have 2 towels in here. I have whatever activity. I'm just moving from the winter up in Colorado. This is going to get switched out from snow pants and jacket down to probably a wetsuit moving forward as I go down to California. One big thing for sure about living in a small space like this is if you just throw a sweatshirt on the couch or just have any random little thing out, the whole house becomes a mess, right? So these hooks do an amazing job helping me out. Throw it on the hook and things stay relatively organized. Down here I have my switch panel. You can see I have my lights on 2 different ones, so I can sort of have variable lighting, which is nice. And I also wired the 3rd one to the fan, so I don't have to reach up as much, I guess. And this last one is actually a servo that unlocks and locks my back door. One of my favorite things about this van is the bed and the design that I use to kind of get the most bed in a small van. This is not the big Sprinter, this is a smaller one, but I wanted a queen size bed, but also a good amount of living space, a good size kitchen, everything else balanced, right? So what I ended up doing was creating the bed up here behind the wall, so I kind of have a separate sleeping space. It's not open to the rest of everything else. But one thing that makes it, I think, relatively unique is you can grab this handle and the whole wall pulls out and the bed folds down. I can show that on the back side as well. All right, so here's the bed on the back side after I've pulled it out. It's a pretty good sized bed, and then this whole part folds up, right? I have a light up here with a USB so I can charge my phone, a couple baskets. In the process of designing this bed, one of the biggest considerations was how long does it take to pull it in and out, and essentially I didn't want to spend like 10 minutes getting it ready and then in the morning getting it ready to be put away again. So that was huge for me, being able to just grab the handle, pull it out, flip it down, and then in the morning flip it up, put the pillows to the side and push it in. It's like a couple seconds either way. That is huge. That's one of my favorite things about this is I can use it. I have a full-size bed and then it just disappears almost just immediately when I want it gone. And we can check out what it looks like as we crawl in. This is a situation where maybe having a wider angle lens might have been a little bit helpful, but as you can see, this is the bed. I think on camera especially, it's relatively difficult to tell the scale of this space a little bit. So for context, my head is on the pillow here. If I rotate the camera around, you can see that my feet are well within the bed still, and there's more than enough space for another person over here. Honestly, for me, this is my favorite bed in the world to sleep in. This is my bed, right? And no matter what time of day, no matter where I am, this is a comfortable closed off space. If I'm in a Walmart parking lot or there's a beautiful view of the beach, and here it's always comfortable and the same. Well, we're back here. This is a good time to get into our garage area. This back zone is mostly space for storage. Right now I'm moving from Colorado to California pretty much, so it's a little bit full. So let me clear it down a little bit and we can get a good idea of what I got going on back here. All right, you can see the back is a little bit more cleared out. Not perfect, but definitely better. I have quite a bit of storage back here. My backpack, I love to cook, so my wok is right here, surfboard. I have a spot where I can slide in snowboards. This actually extends all the way under the bench, so I can kind of get a little bit extra space to slide and fit these boards. I have all of my touring stuff, boots. Over here I have my diesel heater, so I have some extra diesel. And then down here is the heater, the tank for that, and the pump. On the top shelf, I have my hand vacuum, which helps keep things clean, and then yoga mats, fishing poles, dry bags and stuff on the top, and then kind of etc. storage one drawer down. You can actually see right here is the desk that goes under. I have a couple options for water. The sink is winterized, but this is the water for the sink. This is a whole other story, but I had a kidney transplant, so I drink mostly filtered water, so I'll go to Whole Foods or whatever and get good water and use this to drink. I can fit bikes in here, obviously all the stuff I was moving with. There's just a good open space separated by that curtain from the front. Down here I have the battery and then mostly tools, board bag. Behind all of that is my electrical panel. So we made it into the electrical setup in here. It's relatively simple. This is my first time doing any electrical. It's honestly very spread out. I could probably have tightened it up a little bit, but it's something I'm really happy about actually. Something I really enjoy doing, I found out. But yeah, I have 400 watts of solar on the roof. Down here is my battery box. I have a bigger battery in here, but it's a good enough size. I feel like I haven't ever had to worry about power too much, actually. This is my main power source for everything that's 120 volt, but a lot of the van is just 12 volt, and it's you know, for lights, charging phones, the fan, most things are that, and then a few things for sure if I'm wanting to use the projector or the blender, the rice maker, the Starlink, something like that, use an inverter on that. All right, well, I'm still trying to make it down to California by the end of today. So it's another 7.5 hours or so of driving. Spent a good chunk of the morning working on this, so definitely want to get going. I appreciate you guys watching though. Let me know what you think about the van. I am currently off-roading a vehicle that is literally my house. So maybe I should not get into situations like this as much, but appreciate you guys watching either way.